Good morning. I am Dr. T.P. Meigandan. I am going to discuss about the subject design of concrete structures, which has got the code U18PECE026. In this design of concrete structures, we have one of the chapter as our pre-stressed concrete. The pre-stressed concrete has got its own advantages and so also some limitations wherein that can be used, and the difficulties overcome by this pre-stressed concrete over the normal reinforced concrete. So those things we are going to discuss in this chapter. By pre-stressed concrete, the term pre-stressed concrete, what is pre-stressing or what is meant by the pre-stressed concrete? The concrete in which your reinforced steel or reinforcing steel bars are available are initially stretched and anchored to compress it, and thus increasing the resistance to the stresses developed during loading. That is the idea of pre-stressing of the concrete. Because of this pre-stressing, the concrete attains more resistance during the course of loading. So, in the practice, when we have stressed concrete or pre-stressed concrete, the resistance against the stress will be better than the normal concrete. That is the idea of pre-stressing. In this pre-stressing, actually the difference between the pre-stressed concrete and the normal reinforced concrete, here both the cases they utilize the capabilities of the structural elements or the structural material which we are using. That is you are reinforcing steel and so also the concrete. Both are completely utilized. Maybe we can say when reinforced concrete, we say it is, though it is made up of composite materials, it is behaving homogeneously or it is going to be unique in its action. That is what given here as we are utilizing the structural capabilities of both. We all very well know that the concrete is basically strong in compression compared to the strength of compressive. The tensile strength of concrete is low, I can say. The tensile strength of concrete is lower than the compressive strength of concrete. So the concrete can be very well replaced wherever we come across compressive stresses. And when the elements are subjected to tensile stresses, it can be substantiated by introducing the reinforcements. Maybe the reinforcement can be made up of any material, whereas we are using steel majorly because the properties, both it can be mechanical property or whatever physical properties, all those things are slightly matching with the concrete. For example, the thermal coefficient is almost near to the concrete. So the concrete can be reinforced with steel bars. Bamboo also can be used as a reinforcing material, but it has got its own limitations. Whereas here in the pre-stressed concrete, we go with only steel as reinforcing material. So here we are going to use the steel, and we are in advance, we are going to use the stressing for the steel. So in the ordinary concrete, you got your concrete is with the reinforcing steel, whereas the steel bars are placed in the tensile zone so that the tensile stresses are very well taken care of by the steel reinforcement. In the case of pre-stressed concrete, it is the application of forces tending to bend and compress the concrete element in order to counteract the bending which results from loading. That is what during loading, whatever bending is going to be there, or the flexural forces or tensional forces are there, that can be taken care by applying some forces in advance and making the concrete to compress and bend so that during loading it can be made perfect. The forces applied is the tensioning or stretching of the steel component, which usually in the form of high tensile strands or wires, or it can be termed as bars. So as we started discussing about the pre-stressing, we would know about the concept, basic concept. These concepts they were using when the metal was wound. The concept of pre-stressing was invented so many years ago, when the you might have seen these barrels made up of, though it can be wooden, and the wooden pieces to form barrel that can be wound with steel. The metal brands were tightened under tensile stress, which creates compression between the staves, allowing them to resist internal liquid pressure. That is what the metal brands or these stands, whatever they used for the barrels in olden days, those days itself, they could able to give the concept of pre-stressing. So the principle of pre-stressing. Pre-stressing is a method in which compressive force is applied to the reinforced concrete section. The effect of pre-stressing is to reduce the tensile stress in the section to the point till the tensile stress is well below the cracking stress. Thus, the concrete does not crack. So, it is possible to treat concrete as an elastic material. The concrete can be visualized to have compressive force, so internal pre-stressing force, or we can say external forces. The external forces can be dead load, live load, etc. These two forces must be counteracted by each other. We can see the principle of pre-stressing. Basic cross section of an element, it is a beam. So pre-stressing force, force by area, that is stress, plus stress from the dead load, right? And stress from live load. Now, here we can say the stress resultant, which is very little or no tension here. Compressive forces more, large compression. So in this stress in concrete, when pre-stressing is applied at the CG of the section, when the pre-stressing is applied along the center of gravity, then that can behave the stress strain diagram. Now we have drawn the stress diagram. We can able to see which is compressive force, whereas the final result is large compression and very less or meager tension, or we can say no tensile force. The same thing um, diagrammatically depicted. Stress in concrete when pre-stressing is applied eccentrically. Initially, it was in the center of gravity, whereas now it is applied eccentrically. Then, because of this eccentricity, the final picture depicts that stress resultant gives smaller compression and small compression on this side also. So pre-stressing we have got two methods. We can stress the reinforcing bars in two basic ways. One is pre-tensioning and the other one is post-tensioning. The name itself gives an idea. The tensioning or the stretching is applied in advance, and tensioning or stretching is applied after the concrete is laid. So the pre-tensioning technique is mostly used in the factories, whereas the post-tensioning during in the site itself we can use. And the pre-stressed members or pre-stressed concrete, the application of the concrete goes with bridge structures. The slabs in the buildings also can be by use of pre-stressed concrete slabs. And the water tanks can be built using pre-stressed element. The piling can also be a pre-stressed concrete pile. Tin shell structures and offshore platforms. The picture depicts the nuclear power plant. And in the case of any repair and rehabilitations, we can use the pre-stressed concrete. So, how we are going to give the diagrammatically, we are expressing what would be the result when it is pre-stressed. We can have comparison. The first one says or depicts the reinforced concrete. When it is loaded, we can able to see how it is bending and the reinforcements in the bottom, how it gets bent. When it is a cantilever, the first case says about simply supported. The second one depicts the cantilever action. So for reinforced concrete, while loading, it can bend like this. This is the bending pattern of the normal reinforced concrete. Next comes the pre-stressed concrete before loading. As we were mentioning, application of the stretching force in turn making the concrete to compress or bend. That is what shown here diagrammatically. Here you can able to see this bent portion because of this stretching of the reinforcement. And after loading, it becomes normal. This is what the advantage of the pre-stressing. Because this has been bent during loading, it becomes normal. Further, it resists the loading. That is the idea. In case of cantilever, we can able to see because of the pre-stressing, it is bent upward, whereas while loading cantilever at the free end, it becomes straightened. So the pre-stressing gives more resistance to the concrete elements. That is the idea. So pre-tensioning and post-tensioning, these two differ in the method of stressing, as we have described that the pre-stressing can be done in the construction site prior to the concreting. We can see how the pre-tension or pre-stressed concrete made by pre-tensioning. The beams or elements are constructed on a stressing bed. You can place the over the bed what element you are going to cast, maybe a beam, and the stranded cable is placed between two buttresses and anchored to a stressing bed, which holds the force in the stretched cables. After stretching the steel with hydraulic jacks, concrete is placed in the forms. Then the forms which is surrounding the cables and allowed to harden. After hardening, the pre-stress forces are transferred to the concrete by the bond when the steel strands at the end of the beams are cut. We can able to see pictorially the application of tension to the tendons. We can able to see the very first diagrams shows how the strands or tendons are fixed in the anchor or jack. Now the mold is placed. You are casting the concrete. The second picture shows. After concreting, you are cutting the strand at the end. Because you cut, it becomes compressed because of the tensioning or stretching of this strand. So this is the idea. This is the principle of pre-tensioning of the pre-stressed concrete. Now this is in practice. Actually we can able to see this is the anchoring. The strands are there. You stretch it. Concreting is done in the mold. Then if you cut the strands, naturally because of this stretching force, it makes the concrete to bend or compress. The post tensioning, how post tensioning technique is applied. The steel cables inside the plastic ducts or sleeves are positioned in the forms before the concrete is placed. Afterwards, once the concrete has gained strength, the cables are pulled tight and anchored against the outer edges of the concrete. So you can able to see these are all the rolls of post tensioning cables which we are going to place in the slab concrete. The next picture shows your cables are placed in the slab which we are going to cast. Here the pulling anchors for post tensioning cables. These cables are pulled. These pulling anchors are placed and this will be tensioned after the concreting is laid. So concreting is done now. You can able to see these ducts. In this ducts you have the strands. Post tensioning cables ends extending from freshly poured concrete. Now we are going to pull this or stretch this strands. That is what being done. Hydraulic jack are used to pull the cables. We can able to see through this duct your cable or the strand which is coming out can be tightened or stretched using this hydraulic jack. That is the way in which post tensioning is done. So pre-tensioned pre-stressed concrete is usually fabricated away from the job site in a pre-stressing plant, whereas the post-tensioned members are cast in situ. Actually we have seen a slab concreting. After the concreting is completed, it is being stretched by using the hydraulic jack. So post tensioning can be done on site, whereas pre-tensioning it is in the pre-stressing plant. We are stressing the concrete. So for tensioning we have got some devices. It can be mechanical and hydraulic devices. The mechanical devices generally used include weights we have seen, with or without lever transmission, geared transmission in conjunction with pulley blocks, screw jacks, with or without gear devices, and wire winding machines. All these comes under the mechanical devices which we are going to use. These devices are employed mainly for pre-stressing structural concrete components produced on a massive scale in the factory. Whereas the hydraulic devices, these are simplest mean for producing large pre-stressing force, extensively used as tensioning devices. The hydraulic devices can produce major or massive pre-stressing force. And electrical devices can also be used for pre-stressing. The wires are electrically heated and anchored before placing concrete in the mold. This method is often referred to as thermo-prestressing and used for tensioning of steel wires and deformed bars. Chemical devices can also be used. Expanding cements are used, and the degree of expansion is controlled by varying the curing condition since the expansive action of cement. And now coming to advantages of pre-stressed concrete, as we have already stated some of the points that are here given as lower construction cost. Construction cost is less, and it can be minimized the section size, or you can say thinner slabs, which are especially important in high-rise buildings when we are going for multi-storied buildings or high-rise buildings where the floor thickness savings can translate into additional floors. When we reduce the thickness, because of this reduction in the thickness, it will lead to weight loss. Because of the less weight, we can go for additional floor and fewer joints since the distance that can be spanned by post-tension slabs exceeds that of reinforced construction. That is what, when we are using pre-stressed that to post-tensioning, we can go with more span compared to ordinary reinforced concrete sections. The longer span lengths increase the usable unencumbered floor space in buildings and parking structures. Because of the fewer joints lead to lower maintenance costs. There are very less joints, so naturally the maintenance cost is going to be minimal over the design life period of the structure. Since joints are the major important places are playing vital role for the weakness in the concrete buildings. As we have advantages, naturally there will be at least some disadvantages in the use of pre-stressed concrete. In the list of disadvantages, the major problem with the pre-stressed concrete is that it requires specialized construction machineries. As we have seen, mechanical devices, even chemical devices we are using, electrical devices, all involves major construction machineries. We require jack, anchorage system, end block, all those things. And advanced technical knowledge and strict supervision is important for the making of pre-stressed concrete. For concrete pre-stressing, high tensile reinforcement bars are required, which cost greater than the normal mild steel reinforcement bars. And then again, to execute very good pre-stressed concrete, we need to have high skilled laborers. These are all the disadvantages of our pre-stressed concrete. As we do pre-stressing, there are chances of loss in the pre-stress which we apply. In the pre-stressed concrete applications, most important variable is the pre-stressing force. That is what we are giving pre-stressing in the anchorage system through the jack. We apply force. Because of that stretching force, the concrete is compressed, and in turn while loading it gets flattened, or it is resisting stresses. So the important point in the pre-stressed concrete is the pre-stressing force. In the earlier days, it was observed that the pre-stressing force does not stay constant. It will not be staying constant. The pre-stress force goes on reducing. That is what we are going to talk about. Even During the pre-stressing of the tendons and the transfer of pre-stress to the concrete members, there is a drop of the pre-stressing force from the recorded value in the jack gauge. The various reductions of the pre-stressing forces are termed as the losses in the pre-stress. That is what we are going to discuss as the losses in the pre-stressing. So the losses can be divided or classified into an immediate loss or time dependent loss. Under the immediate loss, further we have elastic shortening, friction, and anchorage slip. These three, elastic shortening, friction, and anchorage slip, these losses are said to be immediate losses. And the time dependent losses further classified into creep and due to shrinkage and due to relaxation. The immediate losses we have listed as elastic shortening, anchorage slip, friction loss. So that these losses we are going to see in pre-tensioning how it is going to be, and in the post-tensioning how it is going to behave. We have got types of loss as we have listed the immediate loss and the time dependent loss. The first three says the immediate loss, creep and shrinkage, and then relaxation of steel. These two comes under the time dependent loss. In the case of pre-tensioning, elastic shortening is occurring, right? Whereas in the case of post-tensioning, elastic shortening is not there. Why? If all the cables are simultaneously tensioned, then there won't be any elastic shortening. If the wires are tensioned in stages, loss will exist. Simultaneously, if we tension it or stretch it, there won't be much elastic shortening. Whereas if the wires are tensioned in stages, then there can be chances of loss. Whereas in the case of pre-tensioning, elastic shortening can occur. Next kind of loss, that is anchorage slip, that in the pre-tensioning there won't be anchorage slip, whereas in the post-tensioning it is possible. The friction loss in the pre-tensioning is not, and whereas in the post-tensioned members the friction loss are possible. And the time dependent loss, that is creep loss and shrinkage of concrete, is possible in the both the cases. Similarly, relaxation of steel also possible in both pre-tensioning and post-tensioning. So the about the elastic shortening, the immediate loss, elastic shortening, how it is. The pre-tensioned axial members facing the elastic shortening. Pre-tensioned bending members also facing this elastic shortening. Post-tensioned axial members also subjected to elastic shortening. The elastic shortening can take place in the post-tensioned bending members. When the members are cut and the pre-stressing force is transferred to the member, the concrete undergoes immediate shortening. When the members are cut and the pre-stressing force is transferred to the member, the concrete undergoes immediate shortening due to the pre-stressing force. The tendon also shortens by the same amount, which leads to the loss of pre-stress. The quantification of the losses can be explained by this formula. For simplicity, the loss in all the tendons can be calculated based on the stress in the concrete at the level of CGS. The simplification cannot be used when tendons are stretched sequentially in post-tensioned member. Here we can able to see the del f of p is equal to E suffix p del of f of p. This formula, as for simplicity, the loss in all the tendons can be calculated based on the stress in the concrete at the level of CGS. Now, the frictional loss. The friction generated at the interface of the concrete and steel during the stretching of a curved tendon in a post-tensioned member. In the figure, we can able to see a curved member is there. When you are stretching that curved tendon in the post-tensioned member, which will lead to a drop in pre-stress along the member from the stretching end, because it is the frictional loss. The loss due to friction does not occur in pre-tensioned members because there is no concrete during the stretching of the tendon. In the pre-stressing, we know in the pre-tensioning members, what we do, the stretching or the tensioning of the bars are before the concrete is being laid. And then, in addition to frictional loss, the stretching has to overcome the wobble of the tendon. The tendon can wobble when you have got curved tendon. Then there is chances of wobbling of the tendon. The wobble refers to the change in position of the tendon along the duct. The losses due to friction and wobble are grouped together as frictional loss. And the formulation of the loss due to friction is similar to the problem of belt friction. The sketch below depicts the forces acting on the tendon of the infinitesimal length dx. We have chosen infinitesimal length of the tendon and the forces acting on the infinitesimal length of the tendon. So the derivation of the expression of P is based on a circular profile, although a cable profile is parabolic based on the bending moment diagram. The error induced is insignificant. We can discuss further in the later sessions. Thank you.